Okay, hi guys. So today my setup is gonna be a little bit different than usual. I hope nobody minds. We're testing a new setup today. So we're gonna see how this goes. Okay, so as you can mostly see, we have 9 cards laid out on the table. I have 3 here from the way home. I have 3 down here from the way home, and this is my Majestic Earth. So this is a spread that I've been dabbling with since I brought up the fact that I wanted to be able to layer my decks. Now, I did try this originally with the Celtic Cross. I found that it became very muddled. They look very pretty together to a degree, but I just found that I got very muddled messages and it was very difficult. And that may be because I am a new reader, but it also just could be because it was honestly too many cards and different decks, etc., etc. So I have been working on a spread for myself, a spread that I've created. I did share, I believe, at least one picture that I had decided over on Instagram of how I would likely set this spread up, which is what you're seeing here. So as you can see, this I originally called, the progression, I believe. I'm calling this the landscape. A, B, and C, which could also be set up as past, present, future. Just the way I see it is a literal landscape of your progression. I don't like the word progression so much. I do like the word landscape just because they are very landscape. Here is conscious, and down here is the subconscious, unconscious, however you choose to specify that particular part of the brain or the conscious at this point, or in this case. All right, so we're just gonna, this is a complete practice. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into it now that I've rambled on for, about 2.5 minutes. So I will also say that I am practicing, so you will find this book, probably I'm gonna be keeping this for just like some references as I go through this. I do not claim to be a perfect reader. I use this to hone my own abilities, better my understanding of my cards, to better be able to read for myself and for other people. So if you do hear any noise, it is likely because I'm flipping through the book to get a better idea of the references to these cards. So we'll start here with the 2 of Clouds, which is the 2 of Air, which is the 2 of Swords. So typically the way I read is more based on Marseille, which again, Bare Bones Tarot is by Vincent Petici over at Tarot Maps here on YouTube. So he has keywords all over his book. I mean, there is so much, like just a decent kind of look-see. This is kind of, and let me pull up. So here, the 9 of Wands is apparently what we're going to go with. So this is kind of what his book looks like. He's got all kinds of amazing keywords and information for every single card. And I mean, we're talking all 78. He's got a whole rundown of the Celtic Cross, if each number fell in whatever different position. And I mean, we go through the entire Celtic Cross. And also, if you hear any extra noise, that's going to be my puppy. So don't mind her. All right, now we're getting into this. So again, the 2 of Swords here. To me, I would read this landscape more as stagnation. Yes, we do have a choice, but it's like we're stagnant. We don't want to make this choice. It's a choice that we don't feel like is a choice. We're not sure. We've reached a point where we're not sure where we want to go, if we want to keep flying in the same direction or if we want to change direction, like you can see here. this other bird is changing direction. You can see this bird here has decided, I'm going to take a rest, and I'm going to decide for myself. So consciously here we've got 3 of Wands. Threes are typically, his keyword is creativity. Let me actually pull up in just a second. I apologize. Just want to be able to kind of give you an idea of what other words he may use. So at a glance, we've got discovery, stimulating experience, wonder, imagination, something uncovered. And I see it, I absolutely see it as creativity, but for this, I definitely see it more as imagination. So you've got this 2 of Wands, or I'm sorry, this 2 of Swords, and you have a 3 of Wands. So consciously, you're kind of, you've not made a choice. You're kind of feeling stagnant, but consciously, you know that you want to do something or feel creativity. You want to feel inspired. You want to feel a sense of wonder. While unconsciously, and I'm going to slide these up just so you can see, is the Hanged Man. And I feel like this is more of subconsciously, you're kind of feeling like the only way to go forward is to sacrifice, self-sacrifice, where the only way to do it is by not choosing something that makes you happy, makes you feel passionate, makes you feel like, yes, this is the right way to go. But it also unconsciously, I do see that this cocoon especially, it feels like the only way to go forward is to let yourself change to a certain degree. And I think any choice is going to change you to some degree. It could be something very minute, but it also could be something very life-changing. And I think to any degree, people are afraid of change. I think we all fear change to some degree, and that's okay. But it also keeps us stagnant, and we don't want that. And I think that's, again, where this 2 of Swords comes in, is we're feeling stagnant. So now we move on to this 8 of Water, this 8 of Cups. You see 3 people here walking. And I feel like the 8s are typically very much about advancement. And I do think that's exactly what we're dealing with, is we've gone from this stagnation and this want to be creative and to blossom. And now we kind of have to almost force ourselves to do exactly that. We kind of have to realize that our life is leaving us behind if we don't step up and say, okay, yes, we're gonna change for the better for ourselves, and we're gonna make this subconscious thing a reality. So I do think that's how this goes. And we've got Temperance here. Now, Temperance I've always seen as tempering. That's really how I started to learn it. But the best word that I found in the Mr. Patisci's book here is inspiration. The other words I like is flowing effortlessly or experiencing bliss, something like that. And that, I think, is very fitting for this, is we have realized that we have to move forward. We can't stay stagnant. We do have to take this and run with it. And I think that's exactly, consciously we know this. And if we do that, we are going to take this 3 of Wands and we are just going to explode with it almost. Is now that we've made this choice, we get to really advance. I think we're advancing rather quickly because we found this inspiration, and we've realized that there is good going on. And I love the fact that our subconscious card is another water. It is the Chariot. This is actually one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. This is one of the reasons I purchased this deck. And I see this, typically I see, the Chariot as drive. And yes, I think absolutely, given the visual that we've got, yes, drive is a big thing, because fish, trout are driven by they're driven by instinct. but at the same time, it's also about what ability we have already. And I think we've got quite a bit of ability with what we've gone through here, and now what we're going through here, what we consciously know, what we've got as a base layer here with this landscape, what we already have going for us. I think we've definitely got the ability to go forward and go forward very well. So, bam. It's just a slit. There we go. Better. There we go. Okay, so that's where I would leave that. And then we go here to the High Priestess. And Mr. Patishi's word is mystery. I also like using the word intuition. But with this, I feel like it is more of a mystery. If you can see, there's a figure, I believe, oh gosh, I believe it's a woman from the looks of it. I believe it is. And she's standing on the edge of what I can only assume is a cliff, possibly slightly above the water. And there's a giant mountain behind her. And I really do think there is a lot of mystery left in the world in this particular landscape. And you get to drive forward, and now you're kind of going into the unknown. You've really pushed yourself, and now you are going into something you've never seen before, never experienced, because it's not a place that you've reached before. So we have, in the conscious, we have death, which I think for what we've been going through here and subconsciously, I think we couldn't get any better for this particular meaning. It doesn't always mean physical death. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It can sometimes feel that way, especially if we change so much that we aren't recognized by people that may love us or that may meet us on a semi-regular basis, and that we change so much that they don't recognize us. But for this, I do think it just means that we have let go of something that we've been holding on to physically, consciously, unconsciously. We've found that this thing that's been holding us back, that we maybe have found here, especially as we move forward and we find inspiration in something that we maybe didn't before, we do lose something in that respect. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. I hope so. And unconsciously, we have the Father of Pentacles, which is our King of Pentacles. So they're all about authority and power. And I think with this mountain here, I really do think that is exactly it. We have to be able to stand up for what we feel like is the right choice. We've got so much water here in this too that we may be feeling like we're getting battered. And it may feel like we're still getting battered, but we can be strong, we can be resilient, we can use the power and the knowledge that we've gained throughout the rest of this to weather the storm almost, and not let this change that is being brought on from our advancement through the rest of this. We don't have to let it be for nothing. We just have to be able to weather it. Like I said, we have to be able to weather the storm. Okay, so that is going to be the first one. I'm just going to move these aside, and we're going to try one more and give you guys a better. Okay, so I did pre-shuffle these, so we're just going to leave it out real quick. And I do start with my middle landscape before I lay out the rest of these. So one, okay. All right, so there we go. Okay, well that is an interesting, I'm going to use it over just a smidge, apparently. Not quite in frame, there we go. So like I said, yeah, we've got quite an interesting spread here. We've got the Tower, the Nine of Trees, which is our Nine of Wands, and the Devil card here at the bottom. Our Devil card. Okay, but we're going to start here. Now, Creature of Trees, that is going to be the Queen of Fire. Queens are creatures in this particular deck. So we have the queen. Now, queens are typically all about, nurturing, patience, their own type of knowledge. With this, it feels almost like, I'm not sure how to explain this one. I feel like it's more about patience. And consciously with this Knight of Pentacles here, this Sun, I feel like consciously we are taking that patience on from this Queen. And it may be because we're dealing with, younger people, and it could be our children, it could just be part of our job, whatever it is. And it may be, especially because it's wands, it could be a hobby or a work thing that we see as our baby. Lisa Pepez even said, I've worked on this project like it was my own child, and that can easily be something that we look on as that. So we're moving on here to this Knight of Pentacles, this Sun. They're all about action, but he is taking very slow, precise action. He's going about it in the best way that he can. That means that it will be done well, and it will be done precisely the way we need it to. I love the fact that the unconscious card is our Ace of Wands. I love the fact that subconsciously we have that spark, that burning flame, that we're going to use this patience of this Queen here with the precise knowledge of this Knight, that we are going to basically do a slow burn, and we are going to use what we've got to be able to exactly what we want. We are going to be able to create exactly what we want. So next here is the Ace of Clouds. This is our Ace of Air, our Ace of Swords. So we have this big, bright landscape. So we've taken here. Oh, hold on. Okay, let's try that again. I was at the Ace of Clouds. Not sure what my dog heard, but that's okay. So we're at the Ace of Swords here. So we've got this bright, open, lots of possibilities, and air is very, it's everywhere. There is so much open here, and I think that's what we're seeing here is this has brought on a lot of possibilities. So much possibility. That's really what I'm saying with this. And consciously we see more of that once. We see more of that energy, that just like oomph kind of thing. But what's nice about the Four is they are all about stability. We don't just have a wand. We don't just have this burning desire, this get up and go kind of feeling. We've got a good start. We've got a great foundation of where we want to be able to take this possibility. It's not just an up in the air, I don't know what to do with it. No. We've got a great start. And even subconsciously on this one, we have the Fool. Now, because this card is so white, you can see here the pathway and the rainbows and the feet. It's very much that we want to take that. I think we want to take that leap of faith. We want to just go for it. And even subconsciously, we know that it's something we can do. And we already consciously have the start to do it. And now it's just finding almost the courage to say, let's jump for it. Let's just jump on this path and just see where it goes. I don't feel like I don't feel like we're being silly. I feel like we're just saying, I've gotten as much of a start as I can, and I need to just go for it, or I'm not going to do it at all. So then we have the Nine of Trees, which again is our fire. So nines are typically all about attainment. We have done this, and we have reached something. We've attained something, but given, I think, the conscious here, this Tower card, I think we may have rushed in too quickly with this Fool, where we thought we were ready, and maybe we were, but maybe our foundation wasn't as solid. Now that we're seeing this, our foundation, our stability had, maybe a false bottom to it or something like that, or maybe it just burned up without us realizing. Whatever it might be, I feel like we have to fall back. That's what we're seeing here, is we have to recreate this foundation. We've realized that something isn't right. So yes, we've got this great attainment here. We've got all of this, and I think we're going to be resilient about it, because as you can see, this tree is dead of winter, and it's thriving. It may not be, not quite thriving. It is standing tall no matter what, the fact that it's covered in a bunch of snow. So even while this Tower card consciously is trying to throw us down, we are finding that we can rebuild, that we can take these bricks out and we can relay them in a better and more structured, more solid way. And our subconscious Devil card, I feel like this is kind of saying, oh, look what we've let ourselves fall into. Look what kind of situation we put ourselves in. And I think when something goes wrong, when you get a Tower moment, you're kind of like, how did I let this happen? How did I let myself reach this point without realizing? And I think everybody, especially when they look at something and realize that it's literally crumbling from beneath our feet, that we all feel like, I should have fixed this long before now. And sometimes we can, and sometimes we can't. And in this case, I think we can't, but we are going to make it through that here with this 9. I think we are going to be able to survive. It may not be fun, and it may be kind of dark, and just that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But I do think when we make it through, it's going to be, we're going to be able to build better, but we're also going to feel like we've survived and we come out stronger at the other end of it. Okay, I think to kind of shows of this layout is kind of what I'm going to do. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope it kind of gives you an idea of how this spread might work if you choose to use it. And please feel free. I like doing the past, present, future kind of, and I love my landscape and my conscious and my subconscious here. Any recommendations, tips, criticisms, anything, please leave it down in the comments. I would very much appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoyed a little look-see into my main decks for reading and how I go about reading. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.